Yes guys, welcome back to Hair System DIY. Different background for you today, and I've got a selfie stick that I'm using to film this with. Might be a little bit wobbly, but I promise that I'll give you guys a bit more of an insight into me as a person this year, also the kind of places I go. This is one of my favourite places. It's not looking the most colourful right now. That is because it's winter, it's January and it's cold. You can see that I've got my scarf on and a puffer jacket. You might be able to hear the plane going overhead. It's pretty much the only artificial noise we get around here. It's very rural, lots of wildlife and that kind of thing. But you know, I was out getting some fresh air today and I decided that I'd be answering one of your guys' questions which you asked me in one of my videos a couple of weeks ago, and it's about monofilaments, what they are, and basically are they worth investing in. So let's dive into this together. So guys, before I dive into the deep juicy content of this particular video, if you're interested in getting a hair system, kind of like my one, LaVividhair.com, this is where I got my one from. You can avail from a 15% discount. Just type in Adam15 in the coupon code box. This is a poly thin skin, all the information you'll need in terms of what the system is, coupon codes, where to find it. I'm going to whack it in the description box below, so please do check that out. I'd really like to get up to 40 likes in this video. If you can help me get there, it would really help other people find this content, so please do hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. You're going to get more of this, you're going to get more nature, and when it comes into spring you're going to get more colours as well. It's all looking a little bit dead at the moment. I don't really mind that, guys, to be honest, but when we get into spring and then summer, it gets so colourful here. You get the bluebells, you get quite a lot more wildlife as well. We get a lot of wild deer around here. It's really stunning. Anyway, I'm babbling. Let's talk hair systems. So, monofilaments, what are they and could they benefit you? Okay, so monofilaments, they're like the original hair systems, or wigs or toupees, whatever you want to call them. They are the OGs, right? You're think Connery in the James Bond movies, he was wearing monofilaments. They're a much thicker type of system. That has its benefits, it also has its cons. Obviously a benefit is it's more robust, it's much less likely to it's actually really hard to tear a monofilament. I've worn a couple in the past and they are really, you have to get scissors out to tear these things. They're incredibly robust, and you could expect to get a year, even being fairly rough with a monofilament, you could probably expect to get a year out of it. So that's a really big pro. Obviously they're thicker as well, which it can kind of be a bonus, but it can also be to its detriment as well. It can keep you warm in winter for sure, but at the same time it can get you very, very hot in summer. One thing I really struggled about with monofilaments, and a lot of people struggle with this, my glasses are foaming up. It's very cold, guys, it's very cold. It's winter in the UK. One of the problems that I got, it itched like mad. This might not be for everyone. If you've got a very unsensitive scalp, you probably it won't irritate you as much, but I still think you probably itch quite a bit. I was itching like mad when I had a monofilament, and it wasn't even a full monofilament. It was laced around the edges, but it was a monofilament in the middle, and I just found it so uncomfortable. One of the ways I tried to mitigate this problem was actually by taping as much of the base as I could. It helped a little bit, but it didn't solve the problem. Oh wow, I just spotted a deer. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Oh, it's gone now, but it was over there. I'll tell you what, guys, if I can catch a deer, okay, in one of these videos when I film out here, like, subscribe for more nature videos in future, because it's getting real. Right, okay, where was I? Monofilaments, yes. I couldn't get around the itching problem. And it's like, yes, I can see the benefit of getting them because they last a long time, and if you're on a small budget, it can kind of make sense, but you have to consider comfort as well with this, especially if you're working in an office. You can't just take it off. Apologies again for the noise. That is a plane going overhead, if you can pick it up. Yeah, okay, so another good thing about monofilaments, not a great thing but a good thing, is they don't shed very much. They don't shed like a normal lace or a normal poly. This is a poly. Yes, it's starting to shed a bit. I've had it for, I think, just beyond 2 months now. Yes, when I go through it with a comb, it starts shedding a little bit. It happens with pretty much most systems. You don't get that so much with a monofilament. A problem that you can get with a monofilament, like with any system, is the hair, especially if it's a lighter colour. Remember, guys, I've said this a million times till I'm red in the face, that hair system hair is very heavily industrially processed. It's dyed, effectively. It's dyed to suit the colour of your bio hair when you buy it. That's not the natural hair colour that it comes as. It's usually black or like seriously dark brown or something like that. And if you have a lighter skin hair, if you have lighter hair colours, it's going to start getting brassy tones after a while. So you're going to be having to invest in pretty much regularly dyeing it from 2+ months onwards. Regularly dyeing it, or using a hair depositing conditioner, which I've talked about in several of my other videos. I've done a couple of videos of it, which I can pop up in the cards right now, if I can find it when I'm editing this thing. But yeah, you will need to do that pretty regularly. So again, that's something worth considering. In terms of invisibility, undetectability, if you watch one of those old James Bond films and you were to look at Connery's hair and you were to say, this guy's wearing a toupee, it's kind of believable. You could believe that it's a toupee when you look at it. And that is the problem with a monofilament. You're not going to get a natural hairline. You would have to pretty much, unless you wanted it to be pretty obvious, I think you'd probably have to not expose your hairline. You'd probably have to have your system down pretty much most of the time, otherwise it's kind of obvious. And you can even see, I mean, you know, this is a poly, this is an ultra thin skin poly, and you can still sort of see, if you look pretty close, you can still sort of see that that is a system if you really scrutinise it. And a monofilament is way more obvious, so that's also worth considering. If you were to ask me personally whether I'd go for it, even if you're on a budget, I wouldn't recommend it. There's a reason why lace and poly are the most popular systems in the industry, and why not many people wear monofilament. Some people do go for it in the middle, but it's not too common, and it's the comfort thing for me, guys. And this is something that gets raised again and again and again, and it's something that's really hard to ignore. So I wouldn't recommend going monofilament if I was you personally, unless you don't mind not exposing your hairline, unless you're on such a tight budget that you can only afford one system a year, unless you have really stubborn skin that doesn't get irritated by anything. When I had it on, it kind of felt like I was constantly wearing a loofah. It was very uncomfortable, guys, so I wouldn't recommend it. For the subscriber who asked this question, I hope that's answered your question. If you've got any more questions for any of you, please just drop them in the comments box below. These kind of videos where I'm outside doing my thing, getting fresh air, going to the places I love, I'd actually rather answer questions. Yeah, I'd like to sort of use this time when I'm sort of out in sort of nature doing my thing, sort of answering your questions. Because at the end of the day, guys, you're the guys. You are the guys who make this channel. So I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to offer tips and advice where I can. It's not going to be perfect. I can only try my best, but I just want to help you guys, because this is kind of a tough path to navigate on your own. So yeah, please do drop any questions in the comments box below. Speak to you next time. Bye for now.